Okay, so ready to go. My name is Carmen. I'm the PI of this project. Again, I want to introduce you to Maura, that we're presenting. And I want to make sure everybody gets questions. If not, raise your hand, then we'll just some of our information. The program description here, a little pen. And some of you have seen my demonstration on this. This is a flashlight. So we find it really cute. Flashlight, do you have one then? Flashlight, and it's also a little toolkit that you can put the bits here and use it for us. So we think this is really cute. Anyways, we're a family here, big family together. So we'll get started. Thank you.
Okay, so like Carmen said, I'm Maura Devlin-Clancy. I'm a co-PI on the TechSpot 2.0 grant, and I want to just apologize in advance. I'm fighting off a little bit of cold here, so sorry to have to subject you to my croaking voice. But we're very, very proud and excited to let you know about our NSF ATE grant. Called TechSpot 2.0, whose goal is to create opportunities for hands-on work experience, in particular for underrepresented students. This is a grant to the CNIT department at City College, and we have a number of partners who are supporting us and working with us on this, including Europe Bay Area, which is a CBO in San Francisco, IWIC, NATE, JSpec, and CompTIA. You've met the leadership team. In addition to the folks that you've met here today, Claudia De Silva is also a faculty in CNIT, and she's working as senior personnel on the project. This is what we look like. If you see us and want to talk about TechSpot, please do, please do come up and let us know that you have questions.
Someone's already even done that to us today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'd like to actually start out by introducing our students. Like I said, this is a project to give students hands-on work experience, which are basically internships on campus. And we have an amazing group of students. Those of you who work at City College know that we have amazing students anyway, but in particular we've assembled an amazing group of students. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit about them. So I'll introduce first Roger Keel. Roger is a student who has earned an AS degree in CNIT. He graduated with honors. He has certificates in tech support and Windows. And he's been very involved with our project. You can see him here providing tech support at the JSpec conference to Michael Poindexter from Sacramento City College and Jonathan Lightman from FACCC. Tamika Jones is also a student in TechSpot. Tamika is also an honors student. She is transferring to San Francisco State, and she is working as a teaching intern, I'm not sure what the exact title is, at City College's Faculty Diversity Training Program. So she is in the pipeline to be able to apply for a teaching position at City College. So we're very excited that to have her participating in both programs. Olivet Payne is a student from the Southeast campus, and Olivet has brought a lot of video and media experience to the project. She came initially through the BTOP grant, which is our Broadband Technologies Opportunity Program grant that was based out of Southeast, and she has certificates including video production. Meli is an international student who joined the project last semester. She's recently earned a certificate in wireless networking, and she's working towards her AS degree in CNIT. And Jose Maura, who is in the back there. Jose came to City College through the Year Up program, and he has his AS degree, and he's transferred to San Francisco State. And we're going to let the students talk a little bit more, in a little while through the presentation. So the TechSpot is part of an academic program in CNIT, and students can come into the project through a variety of ways. So I just want to walk you through that so that you can sort of get an understanding of how students are coming into this project. So students can come in through our Bridge to CNIT from the Southeast campus. They can come in through the what we call the general CCSF population. That is just a student who comes to City College and is interested in the CNIT program. Or we have lots of students who come in through Europe Bay Area. We have had a partnership with Europe where we offer a Fundamentals of Technical Support certificate. So students from all these areas come into our programs. They take foundational courses. CNIT 100 is our Introduction to Computers course, and CNIT 103 is our hardware course. And when students have these, these foundational skills, then they can enroll in our internship course, either 197 or 198, that then enables them to get credit for being involved in this project. So after the internship, and after they complete their work on these certificates or degrees in CNIT, then we're ready, the path takes them out of our programs and into a number of different areas. So students may be interested in preparing for industry certification test prep or taking industry certification exams from companies like CompTIA, which is a vendor-neutral industry certification provider, or perhaps an entry-level position in industry, or an entrepreneurial endeavors such as small businesses in their communities. I'm going to walk you through the goals of the project, and our little handy-dandy flyer lists these also. So basically, we're going to be following along here. So the main goal of this project is to establish a center on campus to provide computer technical support. So what this is not is computer refurbishing. Initially, this project built on a grant that was computer refurbishing and recycling, but we feel like with the state of IT and the way that computers are now, and mobile devices and that sort of thing, that there's a bigger need for computer technical support than there is for refurbishing of computers. So our goal is to be able to provide these kinds of services on campus. And you can see here the students doing this kind of work in a makeshift lab. We are not quite at the point where we have established the center on campus just yet. This project has brought to light some challenges and opportunities on campus. It is an innovative project that is, there is not really any kind of blueprint for this on campus. So finding things like space and the infrastructure for accepting fees for service and that sort of thing, those are all the kind of the hurdles that we're working out. But our goal is to have a space set up in spring of 2014. We'll have an infrastructure for accepting payment for services. We'll have an infrastructure for accepting equipment, ticketing, issuing work out to the student technician team, et cetera, et cetera. We are developing a menu of sample services that we will be providing. And we're doing research, well, in particular the students are doing research on companies like Best Buy and Geek Squad to see the kinds of services that they're providing. I wanted to give the students a little opportunity to interject here, because even though we don't have the physical space on campus right now, we have been doing the work since the beginning of the project. So the kinds of projects that you guys have been working on so far, well, let's let Roger start.
So far, hi everyone. So far, we've been interning in the CNIT department, and we've been helping and learning about the administrative processes that go on in the college. And then as time progresses, the college is growing and we get new equipment. And for example, we have equipment in one of our labs, and the cloud building lab is somewhat outdated, and we purchased new equipment. We got together and we unpackaged all the equipment. We created an image that City College uses for computer science courses, and we ghost deployed images to these computers. We unlocked and installed them in the new lab, and now they're all up and running. And we did this together as a team, and this is quite an accomplishment, and also the skills that we acquired to do this. are amazing and very tangible in the marketplace. So we're very proud of what we have achieved, and we have more projects that will be coming in the future.
Great. The second goal, so goal 1 is to actually establish the center, paint the walls, buy benches, set up a system for accepting money and ticketing. And then goal 2 is actually to be able to provide the internships and provide hands-on experience to our students. This work comes out of past work in the CNIT department. So CNIT was involved with NSF-funded Calum and Tech grants, which showed how valuable this kind of hands-on experience is. It helps in particular with retention, student retention and success. And you can see that there's other research that shows how important internships are. It allows students to be able to see products of their work, gives them access to mentors, professional peers, and role models. Internships are becoming increasingly harder to find. There is a lot of competition for internships. Internships often serve as the foot in the door for entry-level jobs. So because students have competition for getting these, it is harder and harder for them to get. We also have students reporting that internships can be alienating, that they don't feel comfortable in the corporate environment. So we believe that offering these kinds of internships on campus just gives students much more opportunities for success in their internships, feeling safer, getting started out with these kinds of hands-on experiences. I also wanted to let Tamika and Millie talk a little bit about the projects that they've been working on in internships.
So we've also been working on deploying a new OS to these MacBooks. Millie and I and Roger and a consultant, Sean, created an image and set up a network system to install the software onto 45 computers within our department. So they are currently running Mavericks, and they have soon to be deployed Office 2014, and they're just up and running, ready for the coming semester, so that students that go through the CNIT program will be able to utilize these computers in their classroom.
Will you take questions?
Yes, we sure will.
What are you doing that you think you never saw yourself doing? I mean, what have you achieved that you thought, wow, that's pretty cool, I didn't know I could do that?
Well, going through the whole process was a new experience, because I have never been a part of setting up a network before, and just researching the different types of software that allow us to remotely deploy software was also something that all of us benefited from. So just actually getting our hands in there and experiencing it firsthand instead of just reading about the process to do it was a beneficial learning experience for all of us.
Thank you.
First of all, it's been a great experience, because I never done that before. And we've been creating image and upgrade to the CNIT department MacBook Pros, and then upgrading to the OS, Mavericks OS 10.9 for our new computer CS100M for course that during this semester, spring 2014.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, just a few pictures from the lab. You can see here that the students. Like I said before, we haven't actually established the permanent space, so students here are shown here working in CNIT classrooms, working on the various projects that they've described. A third goal for the project is the use of social media for dissemination and coordination of the project. Currently, we are using these services mostly for promotional and communication use. When we're actually up and running and offering services to our public, we will be using it for communication with our customers. We started out with a website, techspot.ccsf.edu, that was created by a student in our Web Developer and Designers Club, the advisor of that club is Claudia De Silva. So this student helped us build the website for the project. She also built a mobile version of the website. And we've started out our social media efforts using what I call the big two, Facebook and Twitter. So we have been actually exploring how to most effectively use these platforms to get in touch with our customers. Like I said, when we actually are providing services, we intend to do a lot more with this. But you know, there is, if you're thinking about having this kind of service on your campus, there is significant work on this end of it, and we're planning on hiring social media interns to help us oversee this part of it, because there is quite a lot of work that goes into this piece of it. We also use Flickr for online image sharing. And I'm going to, as you see the pictures that are we're using in this presentation, we use Flickr to manage and share images from the events that we've been participating in. One last comment about social media. We are planning on going more into other platforms. So, for example, we have plans for YouTube, video projects related to the grants, and also more with image sharing, because there's such opportunity in the technical support area for creating video and images that we're excited to be able to explore both of those and do a lot more with those. So this is an exciting part of the project. Our goal is to make the center sustainable and to not make big commitments in terms of how much this is going to cost a college in order to maintain it. So what we're trying to do is rely on free tools to support center operations. Our first example of this is using Google Forms for our ticketing system. So Google Forms, you may or may not know, is part of the Google Drive or Google Docs platform. It enables you to make a free online form that to the user side looks like a form on a website. So what we're showing you here is the embedded help desk form, where our users or our customers will be able to enter their information about their problem and initiate a ticket. What our team will see on the back side, what the students will see, is a spreadsheet that gets generated from the form, and then whoever is serving as our desktop support manager, or whoever is going to be receiving these, will then be able to assign the projects out to the staff. So this is just an example of the kinds of issues that we're going to be accepting, and you can see that Google provides the timestamp, and then the rest of the information is input by the customer. We've done a little customization of this. So in addition to the free tools that are just part of Google Forms, there's also some customization done. And what we've done is we've customized the help desk menu that includes using scripts and what's called a trigger. So the trigger, when a new ticket gets opened, the trigger actually sends out an email to whoever the manager is to assign the issue to a technician. So you can see that there's sort of two steps to this. There's the free form that Google provides, and then a little bit of customization to actually make it work for this project. So this is an exciting part of it, to be able to actually use what's out there and not have to, spend money for some kind of ticketing system in order to support that part of the center operations. Still me.
show you.
Great. Okay. A big goal of this, and one that actually don't have a lot of information to share with you just yet, is making the center sustainable so that when the grant ends, it can continue to run on campus. We have some ideas about how we're going to be doing this. One is competitive service fees. So currently on a city college, there is not a place where students or faculty can bring their computers to get service other than a course at City College or in the CNIT department that we have been offering for a long time. So Bill Hong is here, and he teaches a course 105L, which is a technical support class where faculty and students and the college community can bring their computers to get help with technical problems. So this project builds on that work as well. But what we would like to see is, you know, a self-standing, you know, sort of like the bookstore or the coffee kiosk where students can come in and pay and actually get, you know, get help with their computer problems. We also have plans for industry certification and testing services, where we would have test prep services and also the ability to take a test on campus. But that's all, you know, that's down the line. We're not quite there yet. But those are part of sort of the innovative side of this, is that how are we going to make this computer, this technical support center be able to self-sustain once the grant runs out. And now I'm going to turn it over to Sherry.
Talking right now?
I am. I'm sure everybody's happy to.
Well, I'm going to keep this brief, but and I think we then get to turn it back over to you guys. Is that right? So, but I just want to say a little bit about the sixth goal, which in some ways it should almost be the first goal, because the idea of the TechSpot was really to provide opportunities for students who are typically underrepresented in ICT. We know that there are a lot of underrepresented students and need some additional help getting through the educational and career pipeline. We know that there's an expanding ethnicity gap for Americans who are pursuing STEM careers and education. The National Council for Minorities in Engineering reports that the number of minority students pursuing STEM has either STEM degrees has either flattened out or has declined in recent years, and that's somewhat true for ICT as well, but there isn't an increase. And if you went to the presentation earlier today on there's a case study coming out from the Career Ladders Project, which is my other hat that I wear. They're doing quite a bit of work looking at figuring out how to help get underrepresented folks into ICT careers. So one of the things that we know about the workforce in California is that there is great demand for ICT. We know that. This is preaching to the choir here. There are 46,000 companies who do something along the lines of ICT, which is 1 in 28 companies. 1 in every 28 companies in California. Wages for ICT employees are more than 2 times the state average, and ICT is the second highest paying industry after utilities. So when you think about underrepresented folks into those careers, there's a huge need for it, and there should be an easier pipeline. The disparities in education and attainment by race and ethnicity are both evident and expected to persist. There are huge gaps here. So in the study, which is the Career Ladders Project in conjunction with the Latino Institute for Corporate Inclusion, they're about to release a study about this very topic. And when they asked respondents and the respondents were students in community colleges, managers at ICT firms, community college faculty, and HR personnel in firms. What would you need to do? What are some of the barriers in getting a more diverse workforce in? Students, by and large, one of their top responses was they were asked to name the barriers to pursuing ICT careers, and one of the main barriers was applied learning that opens doors to entry and mid-level ICT careers. So we see this work in TechSpot 2.0 doing exactly what this is, opening some doors that aren't traditionally there if you're not someone who's already been in the pathway and you don't have a lot of those models. So that's our 6th goal. And I think we're out of goals, which is probably good for the rest of you.
Okay, so I just want to reinforce what's on the pen. You can find us on the web, on Facebook, and on Twitter here. We're going to show you, we're going to do a few more things. We're going to show you a video that the students have been working on, and I'm going to let all of that and Tamika introduce that. And then I'll have the students introduce themselves more a little bit, okay?
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Olivette, and this is Tamika. We're about to show you a video that we created, which is based around a conference that Roger and Tamika attended in Washington, D.C. in the fall. And so basically what happened is that about 300 pictures were taken, and what I did is that I broke it down to about 20 of the best pictures. And then from there was a short script that was written between Maura and lovely Tamika. And then she did the voiceover, and I recorded that. And then from there, I got the best pictures and laid it down on the timeline in the video. Pardon me, I'm a little nervous. Take a breath. Okay, so basically, thank you. So we're about to show you this video, and so after I created a draft, I showed it to everyone else, and from there they critiqued it. We went to a studio and re-recorded her voice because she felt like she could do even better. And then from there, we have the final version to show you. So that's it.
Hang on one second. Is that you?
Yeah, let's go computer.
Is that you?
You just have to go on the properties of the video when you get that one. And set it to mirror.
Okay, look.
Yes. Mirror. Yeah. All right, gotcha. Strange if it doesn't show you that. Fine.
And can I have some contact information so we can learn how to bring a program like TechSpot to our college? Attending the ACE conference was an amazing experience. We had the opportunity to show how we are contributing to the development of the TechSpot Center, as well as network with other ACE colleges that are in the midst of projects that equally advance technological education.
Okay, so we wanted to use the last 10 minutes or so for questions. I also wanted to give the students a little time to talk a little bit more. In particular, Jose, do you want to stand up maybe? So Jose started out as a student at Europe Bay Area maybe 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. And Jose now has transferred to San Francisco State, and he returned to Europe to complete the program there, and he's getting ready to start an internship in a tech company sometime in June, sometime around the 3rd week of January. But I wanted Jose just to talk a little bit about his experience, because it's kind of unusual, and we were motivated to bring him back to the project as a consultant because he just has shown so much initiative and perseverance in all the work that he's done.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Jose, once again. When I first heard about CNIT, it was through the program called Europe. Europe is a nonprofit organization that trains young adults in information technology. And you also get a chance to earn college credit, so that's where I met Carmen Lama, who was the CNIT department chair at the time, and currently right now. And so I developed a really strong relationship with her. And through the program, I had joined it without the proper documentation, meaning I lacked a social security number. I am in fact undocumented. I'm an undocumented student, which means I came here when I was very little, very young. I cultivated to the American culture. I always feel as I'm an American. So I was determined to finish the Europe program. Extremely hardworking student. Unfortunately, when it was time to go into my internship phase that Europe provides, I was unable to finish it. And I still wanted to continue my education. I was hungry to get myself educated, to move on with this struggle in my life, and to not let it deter me to the fact that I am a human being and I deserve the right for an education, the right to work, to just live my life. So I wasn't going to let this stop me. And I always thank Carmen. I was like, thank you so much. She adopted me into the CNIT department as a non-paid intern. So I was doing a lot of work with the department. And recently, through President Obama's deferred action, I was able to get a work permit. So now I am finally back in the Europe program, about to finish it, and also working with Carmen at City College and TechSpot. I'm doing minor consulting work. So yeah, this program is really amazing. I will always have to thank her because it's changed my life.
Thank you. And, Jose is correct. He came to us as an unpaid intern. He showed up every day. He worked very hard. And, there was never any promise of anything at the end of it. So I admire Jose so much. He's done really great work for us. So anyway, now he's back as a consultant, and he's helping us. He's very busy. He has worked in the past for Disney. He's getting ready to work getting ready to start his internship. So we're really lucky to have him join us back again. So, and I want to give the other students an opportunity to say anything more if you're interested in saying anything else. This is your time.
And we can take questions too.
And we can also take questions. Yes, we will. Yes.
What kind of relationship that you have you developed with the campus IT? Is there an interplay there?
It's a very close relationship. You know, our faculty work very closely with IT. Lots of the IT staff are former students. So it's a very close relationship. Yeah.
Not yet with this particular project, because it's just really getting off the ground.
Right.
But
Maybe
like,
more project.
yeah, like, you know, Tim Ryan, that is doing the tech support too for the conference. It's a strong partner. So well, actually, even with creating a website, the URL, and getting to the city college system, they've been helpful as well, which is unusual, but that's very important here.
When the students were working as interns, were they paid for the work?
So the students get paid in a number of different ways. Many of them have work study, so they can, when they find a position on campus, then they can use their work study money for that.
And then also we have a little budget on the grant for lead aid. So if they don't qualify for work study, we have like 2 spots that get the money from the grant. So it's written to the grant. A couple of students get funded, you know, as lead aid. Yeah, we feel very strongly about that, because otherwise, you know, students have to be working at McDonald's or some other job like that, don't really have the time, and we have their dedication, and a lot of students every day. That makes a difference.
So I will say one thing, you know, that has been a big factor in the success of this project is students are very capable. They bring a lot of experience with them. So this is, you know, we don't have the resources on this project to, you know, to help students who may have DSPS or, DSPS or other kinds of needs like that. So the students that were selected for the project, that is actually a very important part of making this work. So, you know, I just wanted to throw that in there. The students are very capable and smart and mature and qualified and all that kind of stuff. So that's a key factor to the success that we've had so far.
We didn't build in a bridge program into this. This actually came out of a bridge program at the Southeast campus. So students were prepared before they came in. So now we can make that connection, that before we get to this point, there are some steps to be taken. So it was kind of started that way. The bridge to CNIT, which were introductory computer courses at another campus, and then it turns into this. So the first interns that we have actually came out of that bridge program. So we're hoping to be able to have both, you know, the pre-TechSpot way, which would be what we're calling the bridge.
I would also say that these students were handpicked for the reasons that Carmen and Maura are talking about. We're hoping that in the coming semesters, students will apply and it will be slightly competitive. Not super competitive, but there'll be a full process that students will need to go through that will mirror the process that you need to go through to get a job anyway. So that's another piece that we're building into it.
Thank you, and we're so happy to be here at the MPICT conference. Thank you. It's a beautiful building, and to get to see our colleagues and to share this wonderful project.
Thank you, Pierre.
So we have some certificates.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you to the students who took time today to help us out. Okay.